Royal FM 95.1 Illinois. You can also listen to us by visiting the Royal FM website at www.royalfm.net. The news continues after this time out. Do stay with us. Okay. Oh, dears. And welcome back now, the news in detail. President Muhammadu Buhari and the Senate President Ahmad Lawan met at the presidential villa Abuja to discuss the nation's security challenges as well as the Niger Delta Development Commission Board. Speaking to State House correspondents after the meeting, to earn livelihood lies with the three tiers of government, including the traditional rulers. While noting that the desire of everyone, including the government, is to see farmers return to farms before the rain starts, he said it means that the government must secure the rural parts of Nigeria as well as the urban centers. Lawan assured that the nation would witness some activities aimed at improving security within 2 months. On the need to de-escalate the charged socio-political atmosphere, he charged the political class not to be part of the force setting the various ethnic and religious groups against each other through inciting comments. On the status of the Niger Delta Development Commission, the Senate President said the National Assembly is in alignment with President Buhari's resolve to sanitize the operations of the Commission. Benue State Governor Samuel Ortom has asked his Bauchi state counterpart Bala Mohammed to apologize to Nigerians over his comments that herdsmen should carry guns and other weapons to defend themselves. Governor Ortom, who stated this while addressing journalists at the Government House, Makurdi, said the comment was unnecessary and an indication that Mohammed was amongst those terrorizing Nigerians. He stated that the 1999 Constitution is amended, forbade anyone except security agents to carry arms, stressing that the Bauchi governor should read the Constitution again to update himself on issues. While lamenting that herdsmen attacks had displaced hundreds of thousands and devastated children in internally displaced persons camp, he urged Governor Mohammed to learn from the governors of Kano and Kaduna State and scholars who had supported a ban on open grazing and shunned pampering banditry in the country. The Benue State Governor said his call for the declaration of a state of emergency in Nigeria was patriotic and has the backing of senators. He expressed the hope that his letter to President Muhammadu Buhari would receive the desired attention. Kwara State Governor Abdurrahman Abdurrazak held a Security Council meeting with heads of various security agencies in the state amidst an assurance that Kwara will always take every step to protect lives and property. Attended by the Governor, Deputy Governor Kayode Alabi, and other members of the Council, highlights of the meeting included an upcoming joint security meeting between Kwara and Niger states to curtail kidnapping, banditry, and other crimes. The meeting will also discuss a military operation this week in the forest between the two states with the goal of dislodging and clearing criminal elements from the area by denying them safe harbor. The Council also discussed the proposed regulations of specific transport operators in synergy with the umbrella bodies to curb crimes, as well as a renewed effort of the administration to reposition Operation Harmony to improve the mobility and joint operations amongst the security forces. The Governor briefed the Council about the national strategies to tackle the farmers' headers crisis such as ranching and its funding under the National Livestock Transformation Program and the need for Nigerians to live in peace and harmony and respect one another's economic rights. It said there are renewed efforts to douse the tension between headers and farmers through initiatives that would gradually phase out open grazing in exchange for permanent settlement of the headers. Governor Abdulrazak said the government will continue to engage all stakeholders to maintain peace and harmony between the two economic groups in the state. Another engagement is slated for today to firm up government's position on the issue. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timipre Silva, has said that the federal government's national gas expansion program is intended to lift over 100 million Nigerians out of poverty. Silva said the program remains a practical demonstration of President Muhammadu Buhari's commitment to lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty by using gas value chain as a catalyst for social and economic development in Nigeria. He spoke in Ado-Ekiti during the inauguration of the National Gas Expansion Program as part of efforts to make gas an alternative energy for industrial, transportation, and domestic use. The minister said Nigeria is richly endowed with mineral resources, specifically hydrocarbons, crude oil, and natural gas, with proven gas reserves of over 200 trillion cubic feet of natural gas, which he said had presented the country with the opportunity to use gas as a catalyst for social-economic renaissance. Ekiti State Governor Dr. Kayode Fayemi lauded President Buhari's dedication to improving programs directed at improving the lives of the people through job creation, social security schemes, stimulating the economy, and attending to security challenges in the nation. And organized labor has called for openness and public participation in determining the petrol price template for the country, even as indications emerged that a new price of petroleum products will emerge in March. President of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Ayuba Waba, said the present pricing template for petroleum products was unilaterally determined by government agencies without recourse to the citizen. Speaking of the resumed negotiation between labor and government and the increase in the pump price of petrol and electricity tariffs in Abuja, Waba confirmed that the parties agreed that the issue of electricity tariff would be resolved through appropriate gas pricing and mass metering. On the template for fixing the price, Waba said efforts should be made to ensure that the current template serves Nigerians instead of market forces. He noted that the welfare of Nigerians should be a major priority of government bodies' policies, urging the authorities to find a way of protecting and insulating Nigerians from the changes in market forces. Meanwhile, there are indications that the federal government has adopted recommendations of the technical committees on electricity tariff and premium motor spirit to implement appropriate gas pricing for electricity generating companies, which would ultimately lead to a price reduction of electricity per unit. And the news is reaching you from RoyalFM 95.1 Ilorin. We take a break now. When we return, more sanctions and pressure mounts on Myanmar military leaders. Please stay with us. 11 minutes gone past the hour, 12 p.m. You're listening to RoyalFM 95.1's Midday Update. On the foreign scene, Myanmar's military leaders are under renewed pressure at home and abroad, with tightened sanctions from Washington and Brussels in some of the biggest demonstrations against their rule since they seized power 3 weeks ago. Authorities have gradually raised use of force against a massive and largely peaceful civil disobedience campaign demanding the return of ousted leader Aung San Suu Kyi. Three anti-coup protesters have been killed in demonstrations so far, while a man patrolling East Yangon neighborhood against night arrest was also shot dead. Overnight, the US blacklisted another two members of the regime after announcing targeted sanctions against other top generals earlier this month. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken called on the regime to end attacks on peaceful protesters, journalists, and activists, release prisoners detained since the coup, and restore the democratically elected government. The European Union says all direct financial support to the government reform programs is withheld. It, however, added that the bloc would not curb trade ties for fear it could hurt the wider population. Peace talks between the Taliban and Afghan government have resumed in the Qatari capital, Doha, after weeks of delays, escalating violence, and a change in US diplomatic leadership as the Biden administration began. Taliban spokesman Mohammed Naim tweeted on Monday night the resumption of the talks, which were the outcome of an agreement between the Afghan armed groups and the US in February 2020. But the administration of President Joe Biden is reviewing the agreement, which was aimed at ending the longest war the US has fought. The Taliban has been fighting the combined forces of the Western-backed Kabul government and foreign troops since it was toppled in a US-led invasion of Afghanistan in 2001. And now to Sports and Brief. Super Eagles coach Gennett Rohr may have foreclosed the possibility of inviting any player from the domestic league for next month's 2021 AFCON qualifiers against Benin Republic and Lesotho. Fresh from watching the CAF Confederation Cup match between Rivers United and Enyimba in Port Harcourt, the vastly experienced German coach said he was unable to identify any player to fit into the current Super Eagles setup. Although the former Bordeaux coach stated that some of the players on both sides at best can feature for the Super Eagles B team, Rohr maintained that there is still a gap between players in the domestic league and their counterparts in Europe. Rohr also said he has spoken with injured Napoli striker Victor Osimhen after he collapsed during a Serie A game against Atlanta on Sunday, and that he's getting better. And that's it on the midday update. But before we go, here again are the headlines. President Buhari, Senate President Lawan meet over security challenges and the DC board. Governor Odum of Benue slams Bauchi counterpart Bala Muhammad asked him to apologize for bagging herders carrying arms. Governor Abdulrazak presides over Kwara Security Council meeting. Security of lives, property remain top priority. Organized labor seeks openness in determining fuel price template. On the foreign scene, Myanmar generals under renewed pressure after sanctions mass protest. And in sport, Coach Rohr rules out home-based Eagles for 2021 AFCON qualifiers. The news was put together by Taiwo Adidion. You can visit www.royaltimes.net for updates on the news. Also endeavor to join us at 4 p.m. for the news bit and 6 p.m. for the news around the globe. Should you like to contact us for comments, observations, and any information regarding unfolding events around you, kindly reach out to RoyalFM Newsroom on 0805 0999 968. I am Babatunde Okunola. Good afternoon.